Here's an exercise and setup to help strengthen the knees and chase away some of the grumpy knee feelings. To do this, we're going to get set up on the floor, flat on our back, heels up on a chair or a couch. Sometimes it's nicer to have a slightly firmer surface. Now, I'm going to explain the technique, what we're looking to feel in this, and then at the end, I'll give some parameters for exploration on both intensity and duration of this exercise, and also how to navigate pain. So stick around for that. So here I'm on my back. I want my body to be a series of 90 degrees. So these thighs here are about 90 degrees to my torso, rather vertical. Shins the same, about 90 degrees. Not too heel isn't too far below the knee. Heel isn't too far above the knee. For this exercise, I'm going to put a block between my knees. And what this is going to help me do is keep the thighs nice and steady and really isolate the movement to the shins and to the knee stuff, the knee being where the thigh bone and shin bone meet and move. So I'm going to apply, to begin, some downward force in my heels, like I'm trying to plant that chair an extra inch into the ground. We'll build this up to about 30 to 40%. Though at the end I'll suggest some higher percentages for different parameters. So downward force in the heels, and we're looking to feel some squeezy stuff in the behind the knee stuff and a back of thigh stuff. It's okay if the tailbone tucks and tips off the ground a little bit, but I want you to leave the waistband of the pants glued to the floor, so we're not going to lift the whole spine in this one here. So with that downward force, we're going to breathe a few breaths. Already there's good stuff happening for the knees if we're getting some behind the knee tension. The next step, though, is to put some of the knee stuff on the move, so I'm going to switch setups so you can better see my feet. And there we are. So same setup, same downward force in the heels, which I'll maintain throughout this exercise. What we're going to do now is get the shins rotating. So I'll have you start by thinking about the toes. Windshield wiping the toes outside and in. Outside and in. You can also think about trying to roll over as much of the ridge of your heel on that chair as you can. Rolling over as much of the ridge of your heel. Now, though I'm cueing you through the toes, what we're really after is getting these shins to rotate. And if you could feel the front edge of your shin, you would want to feel that shin blade rolling outside and inside in lockstep with those toes. Now, all of this movement here is to get you to access and feel differing feelings behind the knee stuff. So in the beginning, as we set up, getting that downward drag in the heels, we've developed some tension feeling, some squeezy feeling in the behind the knee stuff and the back of thigh stuff. As we begin to sweep through the toes and roll through the ridges of the heel, getting the shins to rotate, we want to feel that squeezy stuff shifting side to side. So as I begin to rotate and point the toes to the outside here, I want to feel that behind the knee stuff start to move to the outside. So outside of behind the knee stuff starts to squeeze. This stuff here. As I begin to point those big toes towards each other and try to make them kiss, I want to feel that stuff shift to the inside of behind the knee stuff. Some of this stuff back here. And if you were to feel back there, you're going to feel some tendons. Those are the things that are contracting and pulling and rotating these toes. So as we rotate to the outside of back of knee stuff squeezes. As we rotate to the inside of back and knee stuff squeezes. And that's what we're really after here in this exercise, getting that back and knee stuff to squeeze. Now, I want you to go at a nice controlled pace, right? We're not throwing the tension from side to side. We want to pour that squeezy feeling from side to side in the behind the knee stuff. Excellent. If you're just beginning with this, I would suggest keeping the intensity of the squeeze to about a 30 or 40% of your safest and greatest effort. Just enough to feel all the Christmas lights come on back there and get a little bit of a squeezing sensation, but not enough to burn out anytime soon or really accrue too much of a fatigue. Let's get the wires connected and the wires hot first. As you begin to strengthen this, you can bring that amount of intensity up to the 60, 70, 80% realm. But we're not going to be able to spend as much time there because we're at a higher intensity. So maybe do this in 20 or 30-second doses where we drive those heels in, get some good squeeze, and then begin to rotate through the toes, starting to fatigue and connect to all the stuff behind the knees.